You know what I mean? You won't ever want to be that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Land your ass right in jail.
Exactly.
Land your ass right on the streets. Land your ass right into some shit you got no business being in because you want to just say yes to any and everybody just to have your moment. Yo, what's up with this jersey, man?
What you mean? It's the best thing.
Reds, man? Listen, it's cool. This is Cincinnati Reds, you know what I'm saying? Gotta represent Ohio sometimes, you know what I mean?
Listen, this is the championship.
Y'all did just win this year, right?
Yes, we did.
Last year.
Yes, last year. But we're gonna keep it this year, too. Like, we going until...
For real? To win. How many more you think y'all gonna win?
I could say 6.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Consecutive.
He's talking crazy right now, so we're gonna get into the episode.
Consecutive.
He's talking crazy. But anyways.
But we back. Once again. Episode 4. Spanish, we didn't know that.
I said it before we started playing it. Yeah, you really doing that. You really doing that. That's crazy.
You didn't know it.
The numbers?
Yeah.
I can go to 1,000, bro.
It's just quattro.
That's wild. But okay. Episode 4. It still can't say it right. Episode 4, y'all know that. 4 for 4 like it's Wendy's.
We back.
Yes.
Fresh off the podcast.
Come on.
What we here for?
You know why we here. And y'all should know why y'all here too by now. We're here for it to fresh off the mind, the body, the soul.
I hate that you hit that note, bro. Like that's really irking.
You hit that one. You hit it one time. Come on now.
Soul.
Boy, what you was in? Your own week. And he one of the type of dudes that be like, I was in choir.
I wasn't in choir. I didn't get much singing time.
Oh, okay, but that's like being on the team and not getting enough playing time.
Yeah, or trying to steal the ball so you can create some type of playing time.
And that goes to the topic of the day, guys.
What's up?
Come on, man. It's too many yes men in the world. Y'all doing too much ball hogging. And what I mean by that is you're controlling the rock. That's not really your rock.
Jesus.
And it's not your time. And everybody be like, what's wrong with the yes man? You don't need a yes man in your life when you're a true alpha male. You know what I mean? It's not healthy.
At all.
You know what I mean? It's like when you have a yes man, they say yes to everything.
Okay.
How are you being challenged?
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
How are you elevating? If they can't never challenge you to step up to you and say, nah, big bro, nah, Brody, this ain't right, that's not right, or you should do it this way. You don't need that. Like, what do you think about a yes man?
I think yes men are, or may have some insecurities, right? Or they're being a yes man because they just don't know how to intellectually stimulate or challenge the individual. Or they may look up to that person and want to keep them around. You get what I'm saying? Like a lot of yes men feel inferior, so they want to stick around. They want to be right there
on the hip,
so they can continue to learn. And that's a
good way to put it. Because I didn't even, when we first started talking about the yes man and the ball hogging, I didn't look at it from that perspective.
Yes.
You know, sometimes people just like they look up to somebody, but at the same time, then that goes on the leader.
It does.
Because you shouldn't have your whole job being a mentor, leader, or being somebody that somebody looks up to is to elevate them.
Right.
So now you enabling this person to continue to stay to be a yes man, which still is a bad thing.
Come on.
You got to know when to say, nah, little brother, it's time to make you one of the OGs.
Right.
People in the streets, they do it all the time.
Right.
You know, you got your bag boys. You got the OGs who run the shots.
But then you got the fake OGs and leaders and mentors who want to keep you stagnant because they feel good about themselves.
Those are called the ball hoggers.
Yes.
You feel me? They want to shine and want the light all the time to where they're that selfish.
Yes.
To where they don't even acknowledge that these yes men is really hindering your business anyway. So now you can't even grow. Exactly. Like, prime example, you on a baseball team. You pitching.
Yeah.
I'm showing you throwing about 98 miles per hour.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's high.
It is.
That's high. You occasionally throw 103.
Yeah.
On a Friday after you had a rib board or something. I don't know. I can see you doing that right now. You know what I mean? But anyways,
the Braves.
You're not Braves, right? You played for the Braves. Y'all was trash about 4 or 5 years ago, right?
The champs.
Y'all champs not, right? But the champ could be the champ unless he have his teammates elevate with them, right?
Exactly.
But if you that star player, you that star pitcher, you don't help your coach.
Right.
It's actually the OG at this point.
That's it.
The coach is the OG. The coach don't put people in play to elevate the team no more.
Exactly. And he's expecting you to continue to get better and better and better. And because you're a star player, you expect more out of them. The way they go hard in their craft, it should have a trickle
effect, right?
You know what I'm saying? So those individuals who are not quite there want to get there because they see your motivation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so it elevates them indirectly. And that's how it should be in life, bro.
So have you ever been a yes man?
I have.
When? Like, talk about it.
I think growing up, I was a yes man. I wanted to fit in. I wanted to fit in.
For real?
I did.
I've never known this side.
I did. And so this is when I didn't have much. I considered myself ignorant in all aspects. I wasn't confident in who I was. And so I wanted to fit in so bad that I would just be the yes man. I'd be the guy that's just like, yeah, I'm down for whatever.
For real?
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So yeah, we can do that, we can do that. And even so, because I come from a very rough part of Atlanta, so I was light-skinned, dimples, and long hair. I was trying to not get beat up.
For real. That's real.
I was really saying yes to some shit that was putting me in a bad predicament.
Just to be the cool guy.
Just to be the cool guy, to fit in. And it also dealt with trying to, be safe. You know what I'm saying? Because we were trying to
you really playing chess, not checkers.
So I knew what I was doing.
They think that you just a yes man because you soft, you pussy.
Right.
But you were like, nah, I gotta survive. I'm trying to get out the hood.
Exactly. And then it kind of changed to manipulation and, strategy once it got into like high school and then into college. It kind of changed. It was like, all right, I'm gonna be a yes man to the individual I need to keep around so that I can be successful, so I can extract knowledge from this person. And so that's where that friendly piece comes in.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's smart.
What about you?
I have been a yes man in a different aspect.
I like it. Tell me.
I've been a yes man. I think we all have been a yes man once before. But for me, it was with my father. My father was like my superhero. He's the first superhero for me. So I was his yes man. He can call me for anything. And son, do this. Son, do that. Son, do that. Yes. Okay. So I think we naturally are yes men to our parents, man. Yeah. And not even realizing they kind of soften us up. Our parents soften us up, to be honest with you, because they teach you things, so they teach you respect for your elders that way too, though. But it makes you that ultimate yes man because you never say no to the point to where you are afraid to say no. Yeah. And some people still deal with that as they age. Me, I haven't, because as I was his yes man, he also taught me how to have my own voice. Yeah. That's why I talk with so much conviction when I talk, and people think it's aggression. Nah, it's certainty when I talk. When I talk, people know I believe and I'm passionate about what I'm saying. Yeah. He taught me that. So I was definitely his yes man. And it wasn't a bad thing. For me, honestly, he taught me everything. But I haven't been a yes man in my social groups in my life. Yeah. I've always been the outspoken one. Yeah. I think it's because I have 4 siblings. I'm the youngest, but I've always been very like over there doing everything. I learned at a faster rate, I would say, and being with my father. He's always around older people, so I was always that voice. Yeah. So but what about women? Do you think women like experience like yes woman or yes girl? Like
absolutely,
do that?
Absolutely. But can I go back to one thing you said real
What's that?
And we can touch on the women, but bro, I was sitting here smiling because you were talking about your father being a superhero. Yeah. And so for me, it's a contrast. I looked at, and this is not to knock my father. Like I love my father, and our relationship has grown. But I looked at my father as a villain. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
And so you were saying yes to your father, looking at a superhero. I was looking at my father like, I wish you would leave.
Right.
Because he was just detrimental to our family structure and our dynamic, and he didn't teach me much. He taught me how to play women and manipulate and, do some street stuff here and there, but it was nothing that it's things that I've used from that, which I'll say I appreciate, but in the greater scheme, you were talking about having your voice. I didn't find my voice until I was like, 25?
Man, that's crazy.
And so you're talking about somebody with so much personality.
Yeah, that's what someone would never know.
Nobody would never know because I know how to mask and suppress. And so I know how to put on, a facade as well. I do it well. But when you were talking, I was just like, man, I'm glad you said that. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of men wouldn't even say that. You know what I'm saying? Because they have this, this hyper masculine.
Right. You know everybody want to be macho,
right?
Be
super hard. And it's like, I did this on my own. I'm like, nah, you had somebody to shape you. You know what I'm saying? So definitely I want to appreciate that. For sure. I want to be that for Cameron.
Hey, and I think you're doing an awesome job. And that's where I was getting at before we talking to that question I asked you. Like, you said you didn't find your voice till you're 25. That was like right before Cam.
That was.
Wow.
It was.
God really knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, he took you 25 years of going in and out. Like, you playing hopscotch trying to find your voice, to aiding you to be able to find your voice right before you become a leader or superhero for this young man. Cam.
Absolutely.
That's beautiful, dog.
Absolutely. Now I walk around like I got a nest on my chest, but I ain't 50 though.
Hey.
Did you hear that? Man, he ain't even listening. I said I walk around like I got a nest on my chest, but I ain't 50.
You see what I'm saying?
But you're supposed to be hyping me up.
You know what I'm saying? What a hype. What a hype.
No. I don't do yes, man. Oh, you're right. I like that.
He don't want to be a yes man. Hey, I like that, Drew. I like that he's listening. He's listening.
I like that. But no, I do want to answer that question with women. Women have multiple yes women. So there can be the supportive yes woman. Okay. Where when women walk in, they be like, yes, girl, yes, you do it, queen, you do it.
Okay, the motivator.
Right, the motivator. And then you have the jealous, envious, snake yes woman. Who's like, yes, girl, you should do this. Or
just to get it done, just to get out.
Right.
Yeah, okay.
Or even when they're in let's say a toxic relationship, this goes a little deeper. Like, women give advice and they be like, yes, you should stay with him. You should stay with him, girl. Knowing that they wouldn't stay in that relationship.
And they do that the opposite way too. Like, I've never been a fan of one telling their friend that they should leave a relationship. No. Right. Give advice what you would do, but don't tell somebody you should do this and do that. Because now, most of the time, women, they be the ones you shouldn't date him. You know how many times it is you shouldn't date him, you shouldn't do that. Then when you're not dating them, you jump in the DM.
Right.
Like, come on, like you was just a tip. You was like a fake yes woman for me to get out of the situation.
Yep.
You know that's kind of crazy.
They do it so masterfully.
Yeah,
bro. Women are like.
But dude do it the same way in that aspect too. No, yes. Yeah, she ain't shit. Yeah, no, you ain't tripping.
Hey, now we can go down that road.
Yeah,
where I done had some bros in college where I already we peeped. That'd be like, yeah, bro, this with the woo and the woman, and then they try and go behind your back.
To be honest, I don't even like the dudes come up to me and tell me about, like, why you even doing that?
Don't worry about it.
Don't even do that. Like, let me find it on my own unless you want it in the right hands and you got, because now I trust you, you got evidence.
Right.
But if you ain't even want it in the right hands and I heard, I saw it, now you being the yes man to the pettiness.
Yep. Like,
what are you doing? Like, what you feeding your own?
What's your angle?
What's your angle? You see what I'm saying? Like, but like, Michael, like the question I got asked about the women, like, so do you think, like, who benefits more of having a yes man or yes woman though? Do you think men or do you think women?
I think it's circumstantial.
Okay.
I think every situation, is different. And so I wouldn't be able to necessarily answer that, but for the sake of that question, I think women. I really think women, and I think women, they are more unified than men anyways.
Yeah, for sure.
Women, a lot of black women love them to death. They gonna ride for their black women. Like, you talking about,
for sure.
If it means doing something crazy to somebody, I know black women that's like, well, girl, come on, pull up, we gonna ride. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yes, let's do it. Instead of thinking logic. And I think
logics.
That's a plug. And I think that's an issue too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can be down for somebody, but you can also be down and detrimental.
I was about to say, like, and that goes to the point that I want to make. Like, having a yes man, some people need that. Some people need somebody underneath them to put fire in their ass.
Yes.
So that's what a yes man can be. You see what I'm saying?
That's true. I like
but
that.
my thing is, dang, what was the point that I'm trying to make? You said something that sparked some detrimental.
Yeah.
Like, there's no reason for you to be a yes man for me, if you was ever a yes man for me, if the things you're saying yes to didn't aid me. If it's not the betterment of what I got going on,
I like that.
why are you being a yes man?
I like that.
You know what I mean? Like, you have to know what you're saying yes to and yes for.
Exactly.
That's like I got the brand, right?
Yep.
People hit me up in DMs all the time. Hey, JT, I would love to be the brand ambassador.
Right. I know you get a lot of that.
How you want to be the brand ambassador for something that you never supported, even when they have discounts or anything? You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
So now, how are you going to be a yes man for something you don't even know where it's going? You're saying yes. That's like you ever had a conversation with somebody and they were like, right, Harry? And you're like, nah. What you talking about? What you talking about? Because it's one thing, you said it, like, you said sometimes people are a yes man for somebody that you look up to.
Yeah, I think so.
But when you look up to somebody, most of the time, a leader doesn't show you all the trick and traits.
Nah.
So you could be saying yes to the wrong thing.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So even with that, still need to know why you're saying yes.
Absolutely. But that also goes back to experience and how they were raised, the father figure. Because some people, all they know is yes.
Yeah.
Like, they don't know how to say no. And because sometimes saying no means losing that particular connection, that's the hardest thing they can't embrace and grasp. Like, oh, if I say no today, they may not be here tomorrow. Or if I say no to going out with this group of friends, they may not invite me
anywhere
to the next place.
That's the sacrifice you take. Go back to the episodes back, and you're gonna see we talked about what you're willing to give up and you're willing to sacrifice that.
I see what you're doing. You freshen off today.
Come on.
I like that.
Come on. That point that you said about not knowing if you're gonna get that invite again, being a yes man. So you're right about that. So it looks like we're coming to the point when it comes to being a yes man, people are either yes men because they want to fit in.
Yes.
They're envy, so they're trying to sabotage or watch something get sabotaged.
Yes.
Or because they genuinely want to support the person.
Yeah.
So those three things, I do feel like it's okay to be the yes man, but like I said, you have to understand it's a key difference of yes man and a ball hogger. The ball hogger is a person that reaps the benefits of all the yeses, and you're stunting the growth of that yes man. The yes man, of course, you're stunting the growth or potentially stunting the growth of that leader that you're watching because you're saying yes to everybody else. Like I personally don't want that. I don't have a yes man. But let me ask you this: how do you feel? There are a lot of dudes in a relationship, or a lot of women in relationships too, relationships in general, when they feel that their significant other is supposed to always make them happy, right?
Yeah,
and then they say this and saying, you don't want to make me happy. I say, why? You don't always listen to me. You don't want to listen to me. And I have to say to myself one day, like, why do women think that way?
Is that also going into like the notion that I want you to be my biggest cheerleader too? Because that's another form of being a yes man.
That's different, but they could be looked at as such. But what I was getting at is when women or when men think that way, men comes off very controlling, like in a dictator way. Women it comes very controlling way in a motherly way. Love can make you become that way, when you want a yes man. Because I don't think nobody ever really wants a yes man.
No.
But sometimes in relationships, people want that confirmation of that you're down for everything that I'm down for. But when you do that and you become that down chick, that down guy, what do? You lose some of yourself.
You do.
You see how it goes back to that?
How you going back?
Willing to lose some of yourself. Once again, go back to that last episode, you're going to see how much you are willing to lose or compromise or sacrifice. And that's what they're doing. But you just said something and you was asking about the biggest cheerleader, biggest fan. Talk about that. Like, I see where you're going.
I feel like, and this could be different for different individuals, but some people ask for their significant other to be their biggest cheerleader.
As they should.
Which means in everything I do, you need to be there to support. In everything I do, you need to be there saying, yes.
I know the issue with that.
Yes. But at what point does it become an issue when what you want me to support doesn't align
or interest?
Right. Or interest.
I got the part.
You get what I'm saying? So
it's like this. It becomes an issue when people are trying to put limitations on what support is.
Okay.
Because being your biggest cheerleader just means support.
Right.
It doesn't mean agreements.
For sure.
It just means support. Okay. So if I'm doing this podcast may not have nothing to do with my sister. Right. She may not even care about the episode, but she watches it.
Okay.
Not to agree with me and be yes, and say, yes, I love that. Okay. She may be watching it to look for different things like the way your body language here was bad, the way you said this was wrong. Right. That's support, right?
It is.
So the issue with that is we tend to give our own definition, our own
that's it. Right.
You know what I'm saying? On way.
How we kind of conceptualize.
Exactly. So I think that was always the issue. But being your significant other should be your biggest supporter. Okay. Why? Because you go to sleep with them. Those are the ones you confide your worries, your fears and stuff too. They know things about you that a lot of people don't know. Right. So if they're not your biggest cheerleader, then what are they there for? Because what happens is if they're not your biggest cheerleader, what happens is now you are sacrificing your time with your significant other to spend with that real cheerleader.
I got
you. You know what I'm saying? Because your significant other ain't giving you that, give me an H up here,
right.
But the other one like, give me an H. Spelling your whole name, give me an HC. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Y'all know y'all cheerleaders be doing, but
how you did it?
Come on, we not doing that. I was in a moment type of vibe, bro. I was in a moment type of vibe.
It looked real natural.
You trying to say I was a cheerleader? Alright. Crazy, man, but
I like what you're saying.
Yeah.
And it's real. Mm-hmm. It does tie back to our last episode. What are you willing to sacrifice?
Yeah.
Are you sacrificing something?
Mm-hmm.
And so I feel like, for me, naturally, I can't be a yes man.
Yeah.
I can't. I want to be that thought provoker to my significant other, and I want her to know that I'm going to challenge her, but in a delicate way. Mm-hmm. But I don't want that to look at or to be viewed as me not being a cheerleader or supporter. But it's like I support you in my challenging you. Mm-hmm. Is that? Do you think that's okay, or is that kind of a fine line between the yes man and wanting to see the best for my significant other?
I think that's a good question. I don't think it's a thin line between the two. I think it is what it is. It's like when you're in a relationship, your significant other shouldn't ever look at you, or you shouldn't look at them as a yes woman or a yes man. That if you look at them as a yes man and yes woman, that means you're not looking at them as a real support system. You feel me? Because you want your significant other to have a backbone, have their own opinion and voice. Nobody wants to push over. So you have to speak and be vocal. Right. But I need you to be able to tell me yes to motivate me. Like I had to say this one time. I told my significant other, I say, listen, when I come to you and I bring things to your attention, I don't come to you to ask for permission. I'm a grown ass man.
Come on.
You're a grown ass woman.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I'm asking you for either your support or for your reason to not, for me to not do something. Because all the decisions that I make, sometimes I make impulsive decisions.
Yep.
So I'm like, nah, let me see what wifey thinks. You know? And one time she's like, I mean, it ain't nothing I can say. What I'm gonna say, you're gonna do what you wanna do anyways.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't feel that way.
Right.
If you feel that you can't tell me things that don't have influence over me, what are we doing?
Come on.
You know what I mean? You have some influence over me. That's why I'm making decisions and asking you about it. I mean, telling you about it. I'm not asking for permission. I'm hoping that you give me the words of encouragement to do it or to not do it.
Because you want her input.
Listen.
But look, have you ever found yes men or yes women to be positive?
For sure. Like I said, it just goes to the motivation.
Okay.
It's your yes man, yes woman can be positive when you're looking for that extra oomph in your confidence or your confirmation. You like Jay, you may call me I may call you one day like with your suit on, like, man, yo, like y'all know this suit hard. Hey, Aaron, you think I should wear the suit?
Yep.
Yeah, wear that suit. That suit nice.
Right.
Like you say yes to me, you're not a yes man.
Right.
In my eyes. You was a support system. You was a motivator for me. You gave me enough energy. I trust your opinions and values. So it's like, oh, nah, you cool. Now, I feel like a yes man would be, no matter what the scenario is, no matter what the situation is, the topic is, every time I ask you for something, I mention something, it's yes, yes, yes. And I may be asking you something on purpose. I like to challenge people like you said. I may ask you something just to see how you feel. Yeah. I may really don't even want a $500,000 chain. Hey, yo, Henry, like, hey, you think I should buy that $500,000? You may know I won't even get $500,000. But I'll tell you, like, yo, Henry, I'm about to buy a $500,000 chain. Should I do it? You're like, yes. It's like, God, like, you thought you was my bro. You don't care about my pockets, like, even just to see where your mind is at. And it's like, I can't ask him. He don't got the mind capacity to understand what I got going on. So
I see exactly where you going with that. And I know we run into that a lot of the time.
For sure.
And it's something we gotta change, you know what I'm saying, within ourselves and within other people too.
Well, to be honest with you, bro, I don't run into that anymore. Like, people that approach me now know what type of caliber I am as far as personality. Like, I need every man and every woman around me to have confidence. That's what I'm trying to instill in everybody I talk to. Confidence. I need everybody to know. And if I have a conversation with them, if I was to die the second after the conversation, if they haven't learned anything about me, that conversation was pointless. So I don't even deal with yes men and yes women. You feel me? Like, and sometimes I have heard that I seem mean or people being afraid to approach me, but that just goes with them not knowing me at the time.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? But I don't need a yes man. I don't like yes men. I'm too argumentative to have a yes man. It'd be boring as hell for me.
Right. Exactly. So you gotta challenge me. But no, man, I love the conversation.
For sure.
I like where we went.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? Yes men, pros, cons.
If you're gonna have a yes man better be your best man.
That might I want my yes man to be your best man. I don't know.
Your best thing gonna be your brother. Your brother gonna tell you the right things, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying, your brother with everything. Yeah, of course.
Because then if I have a bachelor party and I'm like, I'm about to bring some ladies in, I see what you're saying. So I don't want them to be like, do that. Nah. But yeah, man, I love the conversation with it, man. Yes, men, yes, women.
Hey, whatever you choose, just make sure like it's not overwhelming or too much.
Or your yes man, maybe your best man.
I don't know. You said
my best man. Forget all that. But we'll talk about that another time.
But yeah, dope topic. Yes. Dope episode. What? 4. You know?
Quattro, bro. He said Quattro. I told you.
Come on, man.
That's all love, man. But look, we're gonna fresh
Listen. We're not doing this Spanish stuff. He only know one number.
Just wait till the next episode.
Anyway, make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe.
And if they got any questions or if y'all have any experiences of yes men, yes women, let us know.
For sure. And if you need to learn how to break that yes man bond, you don't want to be a yes man no more. Hey, I'll tell you how to let it go.
Nah, we'll tell you how to let it go.
Sure.
Or just fresh off. Or in Spanish, lo quiero distinto.
Renega acá. We out. I'm expecting about chew our ass up, bro. They gonna think we racist this one, bro.
We out.
They gonna post that, man. All right, we out.